Most ancient sites of Islam are in danger of disappearing. It's happening in one of the most unlikeliest of places, Saudi Arabia, and attempts by various groups to save the sites have fallen short. These are the images that come to mind when referring to Islam's holiest sites. But these places and others have been under threat for decades by some of the same people claiming to protect them. At the heart of much controversy is this place, Al-Baqi, a cemetery where many members of Prophet Muhammad's family and companions are buried. The Saudi royal family demolished the shrines on top of the graves in 1925, saying that tombstones are un-Islamic, and replaced them with single, unnamed stones. Currently, Muslims performing the annual Hajj pilgrimage are not allowed to pay their respects at the site. Wahhabism, the conservative form of Sunni Islam centered in Saudi Arabia, frowns on visits to shrines, tombs, or religious historical sites on grounds that it might lead to Islam's gravest sin, worshiping anyone other than God.
We want to bring attention as to why these sites have been destroyed, and you may look at any country or any global site, they stand for protection or at least attach archaeological significance to these important sites. And why have these sites been destroyed? We need an answer.
Zainab Hussein is the director at the Baqee organization based in Chicago. Her group has been trying to bring attention to the issue since the 1990s. It started organizing protests each year on the 8th day of the 10th month of the Islamic calendar to mark the anniversary of the cemetery's destruction nearly a century ago. In 2007, they began busing people to the Saudi embassy in Washington, D.C. That since 2007, many more sites have been demolished, and requests for documentation of sites that used to exist have been denied. He says these sites are not only important for Muslims.
We have several sects represented over here. We have invited some of the non-Muslims because some of the cultural sites are very much valuable and important for non-Muslims as well.
The group says it submits a memorandum every year to Saudi officials. This year's letter called for the government to immediately halt the destruction and desecration of shrines, graves, cemeteries, relics, and in good faith begin the process of rebuilding these sacred sites to their original beauty. But Hussein says the calls have fallen on deaf ears.
We submit our memorandum to them every single year, and every year we do not get an official response from them, not even an acknowledgement that they received our memorandum.
Al-Jazeera was also unable to reach Saudi officials for a response. An unnamed non-government source says that the projects should not be seen as destruction, but rather expansion of already existing holy sites, which are necessary to accommodate the growing number of pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. But those expansions have also been met with opposition. Growing dissent from even within the kingdom's younger generation have compared Mecca's changing skyline to that of Las Vegas, complete with a modern-style clock tower hotel, decked with shopping malls, ballrooms, and jacuzzis. The structure rests on an 18th century Ottoman citadel. Activists say that the Saudi government has been successful in keeping the projects under the radar so that not many people are aware of the extent of construction taking place. Hussein says enough is enough.
We want to bring attention as to why these sites have been destroyed, and you may look at any country or any global site, they stand for protection or at least attach archaeological significance to these important sites. And why have these sites been destroyed? We need an answer.
Similar protests were also planned this weekend in New York, Houston, and Los Angeles. Around the world, demonstrations are planned in a handful of cities, including London, Melbourne, and Karachi. And Syed Mehboob Mehdi is the director of Al-Baqi organization, joins us tonight from Los Angeles. Syed, thanks for being with us. I understand you're coming from a protest at the Saudi consulate. So is the movement gaining traction to try to save these sites?
Yes, thank you for having me. Yes, this, of course, the awareness, we can see it all around the world nowadays, because, you know, the Baqee, although it was destroyed, today, whatever you see in the world, from all the terrorist organizations, you see two things: killing and destruction. This started with Baqee, when the Saudis and the Wahhabis attacked the Medina, which is very one of the holiest cities of Islam. They killed so many people in Medina. Then they destroyed this historical and the oldest cemetery, which was regarded by the Prophet as a very respected place. And the companions of the Prophet, his wives, and his family members are buried there. Imam Hassan, who is the grandson of Rasulullah, is buried there. Imam Zainul Abidin, Imam Muhammad Baqir, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, all these great personalities of Islam and companions are buried there.
So there are multiple sites here that are of concern, and many that have been destroyed. But the argument from the Saudi government is that this country sees millions of people come every year for the holy pilgrimage to Mecca, and that they need this space simply to accommodate these huge tourists. So what do you say to that?
Yeah, this is not a good excuse, because they can expand the haram and the mosque while protecting those historical sites.
But how can you protect them if they're in the same location? There's only a limited amount of space in that city.
Yes, you can leave them and at least leave some marks, leave some symbols, some signs there. But they are eliminating everything. They want to wipe out the history of Islam, wipe out the history of Rasulullah, the Prophet. It seems that they are against Islam and against the history of Islam. They are doing exactly what the ISIS and Taliban and Boko Haram and Al-Qaeda have done, and that they are doing everywhere.
So you mentioned those other groups that have also, as you correctly point out, destroyed other sacred sites. Are you frustrated that there has not been more international condemnation over Saudi Arabia's moves?
Unfortunately, yes, this is true, and even the media is not paying attention on these very important issues. Look, that this is an ideology. These people are, although they are groups, but they are not, just groups. It is an ideology which is connecting them all together, and Saudi Arabia is the ideology and promoter of this kind of ideology, a sponsor of this ideology. And now, everywhere, the terrorism, vandalism, you see, nobody is safe from these people. No one. Not just a sect. No Muslims, no non-Muslims, Christians, Jews, Assyrians, Kurds, Arabs. Nobody is safe from this kind of terrorism.
Because these are sites that are not only important to Islam but to many other faiths around the world. Syed Mehboob Mehdi, director of the Al-Baqi organization, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, so-called superbug